Good afternoon, Facebook family. We are back again. I know we took another little hiatus. Summer is here. So we want to welcome y'all back to another episode of For Veterans by Veterans. I am one of your co-hosts, Michael. We also have our other co-host, Walton, and our other co-host from the Parts of Unknown, Jamal. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Doing well, man.
Glad to hear that, man. We Facebook just sent me a little something, and said they're having a little issue, so don't worry about it. We'll put it on there later if it don't go up right now. Okay. So, man, how y'all week been going, man? Or let's say the past 2 weeks, man. How the past 2 weeks been going, man? We'll start off with MIA missing in action. Walton.
Man, hey, things are starting to look up. I done went and got a doggone hotel room, man, so they fixed my air. And I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Woo, that little box outside on the side of your house outside. Man, that thing out there working, boy. It's amazing. Because when it went out, I wasn't thinking about it till it went out. Yeah. I ain't have it on my mind, so I'm just waiting for that. But other than that, man, everything's all good, man. Thanks to God, let me see some more days or whatnot. But other than that, man, I can't complain.
Okay, glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that. So the air, that's. Listen, man, down here where I'm at, I remember when I was driving. I first moved down here. I had a Ford Explorer, and my air went out in the truck, and I was driving around like I still had air. You asked me to do that today?
Yeah.
Hey, now you might find me on the side of the road, man.
Oh, goodness.
Man. So Jamal, what about you, man?
Man, it's been a pretty awesome couple of weeks, man. Got to go visit some old friends and hang out, and actually had a rough night last night. We got out there, did a little shaking of a little tail feather out there, just a little something, get out there. It's a good time, man. It's been like a celebration for the last 2 weeks, so I'm good, man. Good.
That's good, man. We need them celebrations, man. We definitely need them celebrations. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I was out of town for maybe about like 10 days. Went up to Bartow. One of my uncles, my granddaddy brothers passed away. And went up there and, man, met like 200-300 family members, And they were like, man, it's even more than that. So from Bartow to Fort Meade to Fort Pierce, over to Lakeland, Winter Haven, man, we deep up and through there, man. So, then like, oh, yeah, Orlando, the other little areas of St. Cloud. St. Mary, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
It's on the other side. Then I find out we got some folks in Daytona, and then we got some people in it's another little town they were telling me.
We might be kin, bro.
That's what I was about to say.
We might be family.
We just might, man. My granddaddy's daddy and his brothers, they owned a traveling baseball team. This was back in the early 1900s. And so, man, we're finding out, man, like they had kids at every stop, So we family members still coming in to this day, and the craziest thing about it, when I first moved to Southwest Florida, the guy that gave me my first job in the school system, him and I, we thought we were, because his last name is Taylor, My dad last name is Taylor. So we thought we might have been kin on that side of the family. And, you know, he was telling me, yeah, you know, find some family members or whatever. And didn't even think nothing of it. Come to find out, my granddaddy and this guy are first cousins. We're kin on not on my dad's side, we're kin on my mom's side. So my mom, dad, and him are first cousins because their dads were brothers. And but he's from Ohio, you know, and so it's crazy that, you know, I moved down here. He had just moved down here maybe like 6 months prior. And for him to give me my first job, and we didn't even know we were family, you know. So I ended up finding that out 2000. So it was 6 years later when I found out that we were family. So that's the crazy part about that, man. And then we ended up going up to North Carolina, spent some days in North Carolina, man. Had a good time up there, man. Raleigh, beautiful area. Winston-Salem, Durham, Chapel Hill, you know, really like it up there, man. No allergies or nothing, you know. So
I noticed you didn't mention that Fayetteville was nice, so I'm in agreement with that too. So we good.
Listen, man, I saw Fayetteville, man. I hit the gas.
Oh, Fayetteville, baby.
Listen, I went by Fayetteville going 90.
Oh my God.
Man. I hit it going 90, man.
Fayetteville is where I found out the military has cash advance.
I didn't know that.
Fayetteville. I didn't know it either. The guy went to guy in Fayetteville, man. Yeah, I went to Bragg. I think. Well, no, was it on Bragg? I don't think it was on Bragg. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, he did everything right there, and yeah, cash. Like, dang.
I promise you didn't just go see him one time. I know that.
Well, you know what? I was on leave from Korea. So yeah, that was that one time when I came back. Boy, I did want to swing by there. I've been through, you know, Goldsboro and Greensboro, Charlotte. And I think that's been in Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, yeah.
Fayetteville, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fayetteville, man. And I went a couple years ago. I went to Greensboro. I went up there to do some work with an insurance company. And I'm telling you, man, I really do. If I was going to leave Florida, it would probably be for North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, probably be for North Carolina because, you know, the weather was good up there, man. Didn't even have to have the AC on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the land, you know, man, you can get a house, you can get a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house, you know, on an acre, 2 acres of land for less than $200,000. You know, so in Florida, man, you don't want to see the house you gonna get.
Fight over land down there, boy.
Right, man.
Straight up.
Oh man, and it's crazy how, you know, from when I first moved down here, how things is just. I remember, and I can hit myself in the head now, but you could get a duplex for $30,000-$40,000. Now it's $300,000-$400,000. You know, so
great.
Yeah, that's in less than, well, right about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the last year everything is just went crazy. It went real stupid. You know, so but hey man, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the show, man. Our first topic we're gonna talk about, well, the topic of the show is it worth it? You know, and so we're gonna go through and we're gonna talk about these topics. So we're going to rehash the anthrax topic that we had a couple weeks ago with Alex Anderson. You know, that's the one that our brother, he couldn't make it. So we're gonna give him his opportunity to talk about it. And we're supposed to have another special guest, but I don't think he's gonna make it today either. So Brother Walton, if you want to give us your take on the anthrax.
Well, first, let me get into my experience with anthrax. The military caught me in Korea, and it was a scary moment back in '98. Back in '98, man, everybody freaking out, and I'm talking about they came up with the anthrax shot, and people were being threatened with Article 15s, or even getting put out in the military. And I'm seeing officers and everything they bow out gracefully, like they were not taking it. And I'm like, man, what I ain't had no Google smartphones and nothing like that. My resources were limited. Didn't know what to think about that, but I said, all right, so ain't nobody else want to take it. I ain't taking it. Formation. First Sergeant came out there in the Steel Battalion, said, look, we are finna go take this shot. And all my talk and everything went out the window. I was probably not the first, third, or fourth in line. Cause I ain't want no problem, man. I went in and took it, but I'm talking about I was scared to death. But come to find out, after a series of shots, that anthrax is way more dangerous than I anticipated or whatever. I figure, okay, we get the shot, we'll be all right. Figure they hit us with anthrax, we just gonna walk around like ain't nothing happening. But in my own opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like if you didn't have the anthrax shot, you gonna die immediately. And me, I'm gonna suffer for about 7 more seconds because I got the shot. Yeah, man. Yeah, and then I'm gonna follow you. But it turns out there's like 3 different ways of getting this anthrax thing. It doesn't spread the same way as like the virus we got out now. This COVID-19 and whatnot. You can't get it through all these other means of getting in touch and stuff and everything like that. It's a little bit harder to get, but once it's weaponized, it is excruciating dangerous. It's like you got a 15%, you're in that 15 percentile rate of surviving it, period. So what I never got to understand was what the problem is now. It's coming back up. It's got me wondering what kind of side effects am I having that's derived from taking those shots. And years and years later, 20, 23, 24 years later. Yeah.
Right. And now, and so, like a lot of people now, they are talking about, the vaccine and getting vaccinated, and, some people are for it, and some people are against it, and, how do we talk people, or how do we convince people that the shot is safe?
Man,
I mean, go ahead. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I thought I was convinced that it was safe, but it coming back up got me alarmed like crazy because I've been going through a lot of things and trying to figure out a lot of things, MRIs, all this stuff, and all of us from talking with you guys, all of us are having some issues, and I'm just wondering, is any of this derived from those shots and whatnot?
Right. And you can think about but the thing is, we didn't take just one shot. Like we took multiple upon multiple shots.
Right.
And we all went through that basic training line. You go down one row, come back the other row, and go down the other row, and it was shot after shot after shot. And the only thing you got at the end of that line was Drizzard, hey, you okay?
Yeah.
You ain't okay, go over there and sit on that bench. And the bench didn't have no back to it.
You remember getting told about them side effects? No.
No.
They didn't tell us about them damn side effects.
I remember
Exactly.
side effects.
Yeah. Ain't nobody tell
No
you
side
nothing.
effects.
Unless you had a reaction. Oh, yeah, you just have to react. You could have asked me some questions before you put this needle.
Right.
Nothing.
Right. You know, and that's why I advise because, and I always say this, girls, before they leave high school, they all have a baseline test done, you know. But boys, you know, when they leave high school, if you ain't never got sick, there's no baseline for you. You know, like everybody just assumes that everything is okay with every kid that comes out, and it's not. And from here on, well, a couple years ago when my situation started happening, I started advising every parent, before your son leave high school, get a baseline test. That's from top to bottom. So if anything happens to them in the future, they can go back to when they were 17, 18, 19 years old and compare it, because that's the baseline. And what's happening with us, especially black boys and black men, is that we don't have no baseline. So our baseline is when we get sick, you know, and then at that point, we're starting at a point to where we're just trying to get back to when we first got sick or when it first happened, because nobody knows what it looks like before then, because they'll tell you, oh, well, if you're not sick, then we can't do those tests for you. But that's where, you know, we have to start advocating for ourselves and teaching others to advocate for ourselves, that they can have those tests ran, especially if you got insurance.
You paying for it.
But Jamal, you were gonna add on to Walt about the anthrax, or?
No, I basically getting ready to say the same thing he said, so that's why I was like, oh yeah, you got it.
Okay. Yeah. And so do we think, you know, because it's a huge issue right now, even with the Olympics. I heard the other day they was talking about, I think it was 50% or 60%. Yeah, I think it was somewhere 50% that our athletes are going over there and they're not vaccinated, you know, and it's a personal choice. But, you know, and then you got some people saying now that, you know, it's, you know, with the schools, or the CDC just said we should go back to masks. In the state of Florida, this Delta variant is going haywire again, you know, so people are back in the hospital. And I believe we got the number one cases in the United States, you know. Yeah. So with all that going on, is the media just blowing it out of proportion, or is this something that we need to hit people upside the head with, or does it have to be made mandatory?
Man, look, I'm all for, if you have a legit reason, a legit medical reason why you can't take the vaccine, I'm with it. If you want to wait for some more studies or whatever, I hear you, but at the same time, people are dying. People are getting sick and dying. So if you don't want to take the vaccine, fine, cool, whatever. Do you think? Just stay out of people's face. Don't be out here, because you still, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least just sit at home. You know, if you have to go out, then appreciate if you put the mask on. Well, you still could get it if you got a mask. Yeah, but you putting the mask on just in case you don't know you have it and you could spread it to somebody else. Putting the mask on to protect other people. I know you're, oh man, you messing with my rights. For real. Your rights. You spreading sickness. You infringing on other people's rights.
Right. Yeah.
So stay your butt at home and watch, the channel that give you all these false information and be proud of that and you'll be good. Just don't be out here in people's face with the sickness.
Right. Right.
Crazy, man.
And the other day go ahead.
I'm sorry. I had just caught the tail end of this report, and it just, I don't know, something didn't click right with me as I'm watching this reporter ask this lady. It was actually an elder lady who was in the hospital behind this glass thing, a glass box or whatever, and the reporter's on the other side and talking to her. And the elder lady is in a bad way because she got that stuff, that COVID variant of it, and the Delta variant. And the reporter is like asking her, like, don't you wish you didn't get the vaccine? And she's like, no, don't you wish if you had got the vaccine, you wouldn't be in the place you're in now? And she kept going on about that. I'm like, I don't wish bad on people.
No.
I don't hope you get it and whatever else happened to you. I feel the same way as the mall do, man. You don't want to wear your mask, man. Yeah, stay out my face. Stay out of folks' face. Go somewhere. You ain't gotta prove nothing to me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't finna bother you about not wearing a mask. I ain't finna approach you about it. So leave me alone about wearing mine. You know what I mean? And as far as like, someone gets sick or whatnot, I'm not finna tap dance and, soft shoe on them like, you didn't take the vaccine, did you? Look at you. I felt that way when the reporter was asking her, and I felt like, yeah, maybe you should have got that vaccine being an elder person. But yeah, all on TV with the mic, yeah, you had it, you wish you had got it, don't you? Like, yeah. Well, that's it's kind of tough.
That's
I don't feel that way about it, but it's all on the glass and everything with it.
Right. But you remember, man, everybody, and I think like things are different, especially with the younger generation. We all remember when Magic Johnson came out and said he had HIV.
Yeah.
Like if that didn't put no fear in you, and I was a young boy and I figured out what that was. If that didn't put no fear in you, I don't know what could. And so I just always remember you getting that talk, if you're gonna have sex, have safe sex,
Right.
It doesn't stop you from getting, but it helps prevent it, it's prevention, and that's kind of the way I look at the mask, it's prevention, but with the kids today, they know people that have HIV and AIDS and they living their best life, so there's no there's no fear of any of this stuff, so for the older folks, I don't know why they tripping because they know, they've seen that progression of what has happened. And so for them to feel that way, I just don't get it and don't understand it.
And I just like to add also, like you said, for the older folks, y'all, we've been through this before. We've gotten shots that we may or may not want to get. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is not the first time this has happened. It was like, all right, it's mandatory for you to have these shots to go to school. It's mandatory for you to have these shots to go to this job. But all of a sudden, here we are in 2021, everybody acting brand new. And then, we've literally watched people die, like just gone. And we had a counter. We literally, a couple months back, before this started dying down, we had a ticker on the news showing, okay, we had 19 more people pass from COVID. So going back to what Pat said, if you don't have no fear from that, and going back to your original question, how can we get people? I don't think we can, because there ain't nobody. A lot of people don't have fear. People have watched family members die and still won't go get the vaccine, still won't put a mask on, still won't space out and stay away from folks. So
right.
Yeah, we got complacent in this thing. We got real
right,
complacent.
Then
right.
we
You
started
know,
out.
I was looking at the Drink Champ. Shout out to Drink Champ. Shout out to Noriega. Check out our podcast, Noriega. But I was looking at their podcast, man. They had Scarface on there, man, and Scarface had caught COVID real bad, and it hurt him to the point to where his kidneys failed on him, and so he's been trying for the past 15, 16 months to get a kidney transplant. And so they finally, I think last week, his son became a match, and so he's been like advocating and talking about it, man, like it's real, it's real out here, and protect yourself, so if it can touch somebody like him, man, what you think it'll do to us?
Right. I mean, it literally had the first president. I mean, the last president before Biden. It literally, and he still didn't want to wear no mask. So,
and his folks follow him too.
Well, and then he went and got his whole family got the vaccine. Whole family's got the vaccine, but a lot of his followers, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of his followers is out here. Man, you guys are sheep. Y'all trying to say, this and that, and I'm not getting that. I don't know how dangerous it is. Yeah, you mean to tell me you knew about how dangerous any other shots that you got before? You did some research on that?
No, didn't. Exactly. Nope.
Right. Exactly. So, for me, I ain't gonna lie, man. The shot, and we'll close up after this. Mm-hmm. Since I got my shot, this is the best I felt in 5 years.
Damn. Okay.
I'm talking about the best I felt in 5 years. Man, I went out and I was jogging last week and did the bleachers last week. Man, I was feeling good, man.
Hit the bleachers.
Did the bleachers, man. So that's telling you something, man. That's telling you something, man. And so. And even I'm telling you, after I got this shot, man, I've been, traveling and just enjoying life, but still continuing to protect myself at the same time, But to me, the shot just, just boosted me on up, man. Okay. So I don't know what to tell other people, but I'm telling you what it done for me.
That's that Wakanda
and if anybody out there, the CDC, y'all looking, paying attention, man. If y'all need a spokesperson, man, holla at your boy. Man. So, all right. So, final question, man. So, is it worth it to get the shot? Start with you, Jamal. Is it worth it?
I believe it is. I mean, they're not making it. They haven't made it mandatory yet, but there's a lot of organizations that are going that way. They're at least putting incentives out there for you to get it so that you're able to work, go to work. But I think at a certain point, if this keeps going on, that these organizations are gonna be like, look, you got to get the shot, or you can go find another place of employment. So. I think in that aspect, definitely worth it. And then, just it's like you said, it's a preventive measure. You still can catch the virus if you get the shot. Right. It may not be as bad the second time. It might not be as bad if you get it after you got. At least that's what they're saying after you've been vaccinated. So I mean, there's that. But I mean, just thinking about your family, your friends, you want to go see people, you want to visit, you want to travel. I think it is worth it. And then you still can continue wear the mask and keep social distance and stuff like that. But I think it is worth it.
Very much.
What about you, Walton? Is it worth it?
Yeah, definitely. You got kids under 12 in your house or just in your family, period, or you got elders in your family or around and whatnot. Yeah, very, very well worth it. And like David was saying, you'll be better. You can still catch it. It's not to keep you from getting it. You'll get it. But from what I'm understanding is you won't have the severe symptoms of it. It won't be a life or death situation for you. And following up on it, they're still doing tests, and it's still coming out good, real good. That is working. Those are the words they're using. It's working.
All right, and hey, y'all already know it's worth it for me. But like I said, man, shout out to the CDC, shout out to Noriega, shout out to Drink Champs Podcast. All right, we're moving to our next topic. And this is a Walt, you brought this to our attention. Fake woke video. So can you kind of elaborate or explain a little bit about the video?
Well, the video was just the thing that brought the topic up. The video was interesting. I thought this guy can't even think of his name, but the song is called Fake Woke. But he brings an interesting topic up about people being fake woke, and I think that's a very interesting name for what I'm thinking of, is people who may be like we were talking about earlier. You were asking, do people think that the reporters and everyone are exaggerating about this virus going on and whatnot? And the fake woke topic, just that word fake woke, we always say we woke, and that word fake woke make me think of like, is there such thing as someone who's just taking something serious and pushing it, to meet their agenda? And could they fit, what, basically looking for a definition of what would we consider fake woke. And listening to the song or whatnot, I didn't quite agree with everything he said. But I think his whole point is just to be controversial and bring up the whole topic, the whole talking point or whatever. I think that's his aim. I think that's his whole angle, just like, Eminem. But that's what I wanted to bring up. What would you guys think of people? And probably it would be our brothers and sisters who may be under the title of fake woke. And this is our opinion. This isn't, I don't know if you can Google fake woke and get an actual definition of what that is, because that just got my attention, because I believe there's some people out here who are fake woke.
Hold on, I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Yes, you can. It's a slang term. The way I understand it is that someone who is fake woke pretends to be woke, cares a lot about a perceived social issue in order to impress others, but in doing so goes against factual information since they don't actually know what they're talking about. Boom.
Okay.
Things, yeah.
Okay. I like it. I just think when you put that woke on there, is to me, it seems like it's pointing at a certain group of people. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, that definition you just read includes a whole bunch of other people.
Right.
A whole bunch of other folks. So
nail on the head there. It seems like it's targeting one group.
Yes.
But the definition.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm glad you pulled up that definition, because that's a legit definition. I just don't like because I know that word woke is pointing to us, to the black folks. So,
You're right.
But at the same time, you go. I mean, you could look at this year before or whatever's going on in some of these different news media stations putting out fake stuff, or these different organizations that was so-called during after the George Floyd incident, or any other of these shootings that went down. All of a sudden, oh well, we're gonna have this kind of training and have a safety stand down or some foolishness like that. So I'm with you. I get it. Now, I did want to touch on the video. Like Walt said, I can't agree with a lot of the stuff that he was going down the road on, because once again, in his video, it seemed like he was talking about a certain group of individuals, of people.
Yeah.
And there's some fake I guess you call them unwoke or conservative, whatever, some fake jokers on that side too. Real bad.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of jokers running around here talking about don't get the shot. They haven't done the research and don't do this and this and that. And these jokers, whole family got COVID vaccination. But they telling, these other cats, nah, man, you don't need to do that. They just trying to take your rights away. Don't put your mask on. What's up with that?
Right.
What's up with it on the other side? So that's where I'm at with it, man.
Right. And when I looked at the video,
folks using the information against it, factual information, using it to fit their agenda.
Right. Mm-hmm. And, and when I looked at the video, kind of like, there are some things that he's saying, he hitting that, he hitting it with the hammer, and then there are some things that, like, who really are you talking to?
Yeah.
And when I think about, when people talking about the woke, when we talk about woke and stay woke, to me, it goes back to the movie The Matrix. Mm-hmm. When he got unplugged and then he could actually see, but everybody else was asleep and they were plugged up to the thing. He got unplugged, he was woke and he could see, but he really couldn't see until, he figured out who he was. And then once he figured out who he was, then he could see the Matrix,
Right.
And I just feel that that's for all of us, that movie says so much, and I kind of relate it to all of us, is that once we find out who we are, then we become unwoke, and that's as an individual. Like, you got to find out who you are as an individual first before you can find out, well, now I'm with these people over here, I'm with this group over here. Well, who are you individually? And if we go back to our grandparents and great grandparents, like, they knew who they were individually and they knew what they were fighting for and what they stood for. You can go. It ain't too many granddads and great granddads out there. I'm talking about old school. I ain't talking about 32, 35, granddaddies. I'm talking about, granddaddy, he ain't chewed bubblegum twice.
Yeah.
Them granddaddies, got the grip. They put that grip on you. You done and over.
Yeah.
Like them granddaddies. They knew they and I'm talking about wasn't no change in their mind. Like, you can cancel Christmas. When granddaddy said something, that's it. Don't nothing else need to be said.
Yeah, that's it. He gonna have the last word.
Right. But they knew who they were, and it's a whole nother topic we can go to, because people now are bashing that, but that was the backbone of our community. That was the backbone of our country. You can't bash that, And so, but I ain't gonna chase another rabbit over here.
Yeah, man, we can take this on and on, boy. Yeah.
Right, man. But
It's
yeah,
just-
man, the fake woke. The guy name is Tom McDonald. McDonald.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
man, yeah.
I think it's a lot more broader than I mean that definition. What you read, yeah, on point. And then Jamal put it out there. Yeah, you know what you say.
I'm
Woke.
just saying what I was.
Yeah, you
That's
know what
all
you
I'm
say. I
saying,
know what
man.
you're saying, trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
who are you talking to? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
But let me give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna see how many streams he got, man.
Mhm.
With the thing already.
Only blown up.
Man, he got 19 million views.
Yep.
Yeah.
19 million views, man. So just off of YouTube, he getting paid like a mug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I watched the reactions to the videos, and I mean, the majority of the reactions I watched, they all they were with it, like, and they would say, well, I like it, it was challenging, it was this and that or whatever. They hit real quick on like the topics and stuff he bring up, and they said, well, I didn't agree with everything, but I mean, he going though, and I think it was just the entertainment purposes that they were speaking of or whatnot. But I'm thinking, like, hold on, bro, this is fake woke.
Yeah.
My mind is like scrambling. I'm like, I can't concentrate on just this one thing about the song, because he can rap, he can, he's a talented guy. My mind, I went broad, like, yeah, the whole, not no spotlight, but the whole stage lit up for me, because I'm like, hold on, bro, wait, yeah, it's wider and broader than that. Fake woke. Yeah.
Fake woke, man.
But they could have just left it at fake, because
Yeah,
that would include that. Because when you put that woke on there, we know who you trying. We know,
Right.
like you try to slide that in there, like, oh yeah, y'all ain't gonna catch this. Yeah, we know what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Nice little overhand right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because you can't call it a jab. You know, if he just had put if he just put fake on that in, it's a jab. But when he put that woke on there, that's a nice overhand right there.
That's pinpointed. That's
right.
That's guided right there. Like,
right.
Okay. All right.
Telling
you ain't gonna talk about the other side in this either. You ain't gonna do that. Okay. All right. No worries.
Part 2 to that song, baby. We need part 2.
Part
3,
2.
4.
I bet you if you put the other side, it won't get no 19 million views.
Right.
What? Well, I can't agree with any of the points he made. It was man.
It'll bring controversy like a mug, though. I tell you that. That other side to it.
The real controversial part of it.
Yes. You got me thinking. I might start writing tonight, man.
Oh goodness.
Man. Well, fellas, man, we coming to a close on this episode, man, and I think we hit the topics, and so the main topic of the show was, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Was it worth it to get the anthrax? At the time, we said yes. Is it worth it to get the vaccination? Right now, we saying yes. And I want to clear up something. The difference between when we got the anthrax and versus now is that we got multiple shots, multiple vaccinations. So that may have played a role in and how our health is today. But the vaccination is you get 2 shots you get, and there's a at least 21 to 28-day window. You know, so you know, we're encouraging our vets, veteran family members, friends of veterans, just people in general to either go get vaccinated. If you're not gonna get vaccinated, you know, don't be out here in the club, you know, around 2,000 people. Then you go see grandma or auntie and get you sick. You know, don't do that. You know, if you're going to be like that and you're going to do that, don't go and take it to people in your family that are either elderly or their immune system is compromised. You know, so that's what we're asking you to do. End of the episode. Thumbs up, fellas. 2 thumbs up, man. You know,
2
thumbs.
Any shot that got you out there doing stairs,
I can't get there. You go. Hold on, man. There you go. Thumbs up. And once again, man, shout out to Noriega, man. Noriega, we in the building, man. You know, put us on Drink Champs, man. We need to be on Drink Champs, man. For Veterans by Veterans podcast, man. We'll give you a different outlook, man. We were back there in them days, man. Put us on the podcast. We bring us to Miami. We ready right now.
Right now.
Shout out to Drink Champ. Shout out to DJ EFN, man. The whole team, man. And CDC, we'll holler at y'all, man. Spokesperson right here. God bless you. We love you.